Mike Byrnes with another episode of Business Best. I am excited to continue the email marketing topic, but in a whole different way. One of the things that I became aware of, I like to kind of always stay on top of the newest and latest and greatest things with marketing. And I don't know if it was 10 years ago, so I guess it's not that new anymore, but I discovered personalized video emails, and there's some service providers out there that use this stuff. And they actually help in every way. They can help with open rates, click-through rates, whatever the call to action is in there, conversions to become clients or whatever action you're trying to ask. I really see that there's a huge lift in what people are trying to do. So I'll go through this tool and how you could use it, no matter what type of service provider you use. But I would really consider adding this to the mix. So really simply, I'll ask you, I know I can't hear your answer, but would it be better for someone to sit across from you in a face-to-face meeting, be on a Zoom, talk on the phone, interact through email or social media messenger or whatever it might be? I would guess that the most effective way to communicate would be face-to-face. There's some drawbacks to that. Obviously, it can be resource heavy. It can take your time and can cost you, not just man hours, but dollars and all that stuff if your staff is sitting face to face with people. But usually that's the human interaction that your clients want, and whatever you're trying to get them to do, they're going to be more likely to do it. So if you can't do that, you understand there's only so many hours in a week. Another tool that you might want to think about is this personalized video email. So let's just imagine you have to have a 10-minute conversation with every single client. Something's changing in the world. You got to get that message out to them. And when you do that, you need to now, I'm going to make up a number, but it's 150 clients they have. You have to have a 10-minute conversation with 150 clients. How long would that take? It's not a simple 10 times 150. It really is like scheduling and trying to get people on the phone, trying to get people to respond, trying to have them come in, have cancellations, have no-shows, like all this crazy stuff. So something that, numbers-wise might look like it would only take a week to get everybody communicated with. But the reality is it could take weeks to get through your whole client base. They're on vacations, whatever it might be. So this tool will allow you to communicate with them. It's not as good as face-to-face, but in some ways it's better. Like, I'll tease people that might have a parent that won't ever hang up, or a significant other that just will talk and talk and talk and not want to hang up. You might have a client like that too. So where you call them for a 10-minute conversation, but they want to be on the phone with you for 2 hours. A little bit of that's good, but too much of it would make your day like completely inefficient, right? You want to get to the things you need to do. So now start to think about the scalability of this. So you send out a personalized message to them. You say, hey, Bob and Cindy, it's so great to have you as a client. Thank you so much for coming in, blah, 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 last month. I hope your vacation to Michigan was wonderful and you really enjoyed the lake and you had a great time with your grandkids. I just wanted to reach out to you about X, Y, and Z. And so you do that little message. It can be almost a script. You're not going to read for something, but let's say every client gets the same meat of the message. So the beginning is personalized, like I gave you the example. At the end, it'd be like, can't wait to see you in November when our next meeting is. Until then, I hope your kids have a great time in college, whatever. Like, you know how to personalize the message on the bookends, right? On the up front and the back. But that little 5 to 10 minute message is the same for everybody. A little bit of customization in there can work. But it's not too scripted that it feels like you're reading something. Now you just bang that out. You get really efficient with these marketing tools, and you send one out, and you send one out, and you send one out, and you send one out. And now you found that you got through your whole client base in a day, where something to get through your whole client base with the same type of communications face-to-face would take a long, long time. So I've talked about tiered service models or tiered service matrix. And I've said, like, your better clients should get communicated more. That might be, they might get more face-to-face time, but it might be that you already do face-to-face with them and you do a blast email, but this personalized video email is something that you add to your service model. So it doesn't necessarily replace all the face-to-face things. It just is one more thing that you add. At times it might replace a face-to-face needed meeting, but let's just say you get this, you're a recipient of it. For a lot of people, it's a complete wow factor. Like they haven't seen this stuff. It's just, I know that the technology exists right now. I could flip my smartphone around, do a video myself and send it to a client, but it might not go through. It might be 20 megabytes or bigger. I might get blocked on my end from my email provider, or their email provider might not receive it. So that could be a huge issue. So a tool like this will allow the message to go out. They host the video, so you're going to see a little teaser. The one service that I like to talk about actually will show a little snippet of the video. So you can either freeze frame like that and show like an image so you're not talking and looking goofy, or it'll show some, it's like a GIF, like it'll show some motion of you talking. One of the little tools you can do is have a whiteboard and say, hey, dear Cindy, message for you. And then you hold it like this and smile. And then they're going to say, wow, I have to watch that because that's for me. It's customized to me. So this email provider pushes this out to the person. It's customized to them. The really interesting thing that you can do is do a read report. So it's not like Microsoft Outlook that will say, hey, such and such wants a read report, and your client gets that, and I'm like, it seems obnoxious, and you don't have to approve it. This is something that's kind of secretive. Like they just don't know that that reporting exists. So as a sender, if you opt in to want that reporting, you can find open rates, and you can find click rates on the videos. And actually, there are times where somebody will click on something multiple times. I had one client test this. They sent it out to their client, to one of their top clients, and they sang happy birthday. And they saw that the video was watched over and over and over. And later on, it was like a really friendly client that said, hey, by the way, we could kind of get this reporting. How come it was watched so much? And the guy said, it was the coolest thing I ever saw. So I watched it myself 3 times, and I asked his wife to come in, and then his kids came in, and then he showed some business people, and it was a really cool thing. And it was just 3 or 4 people in an office singing pretty badly, but singing happy birthday to the person. And it really made a personal connection. So it's an efficiency thing, but it's also more of a wow factor too, because humans want to work with humans. I was pounding the pavement as much as I could during COVID, because that's a time where we couldn't get in front of people. And people wanted to feel like they were in front of humans, but they were secluded in their house or wherever they might be. So this was a really valuable tool then, along with the Zooms and all those different softwares, video conferencing softwares that took off. This is one that still remains a little quiet, but it also fits in that category. So it should never go away. Like it's something that should be really powerful. Earlier on, I had said this can be helpful with all different calls to action. Literally everything that we've tested, if you compare it to a regular all-text email versus a personalized video email, which could also have text that would go under it, that second option is always going to defeat the first option. I just think that it's just such a more impactful way of communicating. Again, somebody can't always digest a video when you send it through, so there could be some times where they just read the text and they don't watch the video. Something to be aware of. If you misuse this and you just annoy people and send out messages that they don't want, they're not going to open them in the future. But in the beginning, they will. I oftentimes will say how many people delete a voicemail before listening to it. This is in the same category. Like we have to listen to it a little bit to know if it's deletable. So with the video, same thing. Click-through rates are higher than any other click-through rates you're going to see in email marketing, because people want to see what this GIF is showing or what that little image that you freeze-framed for your audience. Now, could you use this with a larger group than just one-on-one? Yes, you could. A funny version might be like, Mike's a popular name. You might have 20 Mikes in your client base, and you could say, hey, Mike, I just want to let you know I was thinking about you this summer. It's really generic, and you go, yeah, but I want to get back to you on X, Y, and Z topic. This is where we think the world's headed. Let me know if you want to schedule a call. Generic enough, but I use the word Mike, and now little does that Mike know that I send it out to 20 other Mikes. And so there's a little bit of ways that you can get away with personalization, even though it's not really personalized. You might also think about segments too. So you might send something out to people you met at a conference. Like, hey, it was so great to meet you at the last conference out in Dallas. Really loved it. It was such great weather, but the highlight of the conference was meeting you. I just want to let you know I thought a lot about the time, and I was grateful to get the chance to talk with you. I'd love to set up a follow-up call. The person that receives that, you can customize the message and then just keep sending that video out to everybody you met at the conference, right? So it's personalized, but it really isn't too personalized. Be careful. If you do it the wrong way, people are going to be on to you. The people are a lot smarter than you think. But someone that doesn't get personalized video emails, they're going to be wowed by this. I can tell you for a fact that marketers will ruin this. It's that shiny thing that they'll just jump on and start to abuse. But still, even though this has been around for a while, not enough people are using it and leveraging it. I've had people hire clients of mine just because they use this tool. I have one really wealthy person. So this was a financial advisor I worked with. He couldn't get this prospect on the phone, couldn't get him in the office. And I told him about personalized video emails. I said, hey, would you ever send him a message that's personalized to just him? He opened it, he clicked through it, he responded, I'll meet you on Monday. And in the meeting, he said, I get these calls all the time from people that want me to hire them all the time. I'm wealthy, I get attacked from every single angle. But this was the coolest thing I ever saw, and I wanted to tell you about it, and I wanted to be interested in what you had to say, so I'm giving you a shot, of which he did win the business. But he actually then took the personalized video email messaging and actually used it in his business because he saw the potential of it. So it can have this incredible wow factor. All right, when do you use it? From a client service standpoint, this is where AI can help you, but over time, your CRM, your contact management system should have all kinds of really relevant information about the person. One, for example, might be the milestone of them losing a significant other, their birthday, some thing that they accomplished in their life. Maybe even when we talk about birthdays, maybe it's the grandkid's birthday. And you send a personal video email like, hey, I know it's Jimmy's birthday. I can't believe 2 years has gone by. I just want to let you know I was thinking about him. I want to wish him a happy birthday, but also want to check in to see how you're doing. Let me know how Jimmy's doing and your whole family. Let's set up a time to talk. Like that type of personal connection is why people get hired, and it's why people stay with their service provider. Like they're never going to leave somebody if they feel really connected. It's going to be hard for them to leave a friend. So utilize this. One of the things I even need to use from time to time is this tool just to stay in front of my audience, because you think they're always thinking about you, but they know 1,000 people too, right? So the one way to stay relevant is to send this type of messaging. I had a case study where I sent out a message to a lady, same thing, just checked in, how's your family, more personalized than that, but you get the gist. And she didn't respond. And I can tell you 3 months later, when she hired me to speak, she said, I saved that message. It stuck out to me. I thought it was so cool that you personalized that and gave me a little update about what's going on with you and your family. And I just never forgot about it. And that's why I'm hiring you to speak in January. And it was like, it was delayed gratification. A lot of times you can see that these things work instantly. So you'll know, like, a vendor like this might cost $350, maybe $500. Depending on your business model, that's a drop in the bucket if it works, right? You know, what's, for this financial advisor that got a $10 million client, that ROI on using that video service was just a drop in the bucket, like a massive ROI. So he was very successful because of that. So it's something that you want to think about and consider adding it to your communication strategy with your clients. Use it with your prospects, and then also use it with your strategic alliances and whoever that might be. Like, how can you deepen those relationships? If I'm a service provider in your ecosystem, and am I more likely to give leads to someone that's top of mind, that's messaging me and making this relationship friendly and keeping in touch, or the one person that just I hear from once a year and it's kind of this cookie cutter communication? You know the answer. It's like the one that you have the strong relationship with. I can't tout this tool enough. I oftentimes push my clients The one hesitation that I'll see oftentimes is that people hate the way they look and sound. Like, we're doing a recording right now, I'll watch it, and I try not to stare at the screen too long because I'll be like, wow, man, that word didn't come out right, or I looked like a goofball, I sounded terrible, my dome is like a spotlight, like blinding people. Like, you get into watching videos, right, and you just cut yourself apart, and that's one reason people just hate to do it. But how long does it take to do a 3-minute video, right? And if you don't like it, delete, re-record, delete, re-record, and you eventually get pretty comfortable with it. All you need is a phone. I personally like to have a laptop, and you get the little webcam and you hit record, and it's super simple, and you can kind of bang it out and keep things going and keep those relationships going strong. So if you did sign up for something like this, what would you do first? I'm a whiteboard guy. I would put up every way that you communicate with your clients, maybe have another whiteboard or have space on the same one if it's big enough. Every way that you communicate with your prospects, every way you communicate with your strategic alliances, every way you communicate with the press, the media, every way you communicate with anybody that you can think of. Create all these different categories. Then under the categories, write every way that you communicate now. And what you'll realize is that you're pretty limited in the thinking of what you do because it takes so much time to communicate face-to-face, or you're just kind of lazy. No personal attack to anybody, but we're just kind of wired that way. Like, if we can blast something out to everybody, that would be easier to do, right? So one little tangent on that is, say I have to give an economic update on what the markets are doing. I could create a YouTube video and I could blast that out to everybody, but it's not personalized, right? Now imagine it's that I take that 5 minute of content, so I can say that over and over and over again. But I say, hey, I'm a financial advisor and I'm looking at your portfolio, and I just want to let you know these 5 things are happening, and this is what I think how it's going to ride out, and I want you to know where we have you invested in X, Y, and Z, so you personalize it, is I think the plan that we should stick with. I just want you to know I'm being proactive looking at your portfolio, even though there's a market downturn, or even though we're seeing these different things. And I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you, and I just want to send this quick message. Call me if you have any questions. Boom. That type of communication, being proactive rather than hiding behind something you just blast to everybody, will matter way more to a person than just that cookie cutter message that goes out to everybody. So back to the project that you would have is do every kind of communication you can have. Even like if you're inviting clients to an event, the first initial one might be wow them, like, hey, I got this thing that's coming. I want you to know that I'm so excited about it. I want you to save the date for this. I'll get back to you with more information. Then the next communication could be, no way, we signed up such and such to come speak to us. Can't wait for it. All your enthusiasm, all your ability to get across a message in a positive light comes across. Like, the best part of you comes across in that video. It's going to be more effective than just text. Trust me. So again, go through all those different communications. Think about all those things that would create a wow factor, and then incorporate them. I think you need to put triggers in your CRM. Communicate to Mrs. Smith about the 50th anniversary of her husband who was deceased 5 years ago. And then you just got to spend 2 minutes at the beginning of your day to send out a really caring message. This is where you know your target audience better than anyone else. You can even have like little sub-segments within your base. So maybe you have a group of divorcees, or you got a group of widows, or business owners, whatever it might be. Business owners, hey, I just want you to know that this tax change is coming down. The new administration changed X, Y, and Z, and this is how I think it's going to impact the markets, and here's how it might impact your portfolio, and here's how it might impact our strategy. I want to let you know I have a time on my schedule in the next month. Feel free to schedule it if you want to talk about it, but we're going to keep our eye on it and stay ahead of that. That type of message can be really powerful. Otherwise, you can go like the more personalized things and say, hey, such widow, I know this is going to be a tough month for you. I am here, available anytime you need me. Please, please, please do not hesitate to call me. I'm here for you. And you might see that person watches the video like 10 times because they're alone. They feel like they're just sad, right? And to have some supportive message go out to them could be really impactful. You know, if you align with something like with a religion or something, you can actually say a prayer to that person and say, hey, this is, I know, an important day to you. It's an important day to me, important day for both of us. So I just want to say a prayer for you and your family and say why and send that. Like something like that can be replayed over and over again. So do not, when you're doing that whiteboard exercise, do what you do currently in one color. So maybe that one's black, and then grab blue or green or red or whatever, a different type of dry erase marker, and just write down every possible other communication you could have. Do it from memory at first, and then actually print out your whole client list. And then go into every way that you could customize a communication, starting with your best clients and then working down to the smaller ones. Oh, and by the way, I should have said it earlier, when you do the tiered service matrix, having a face-to-face meeting with everybody can be time-consuming, right? So maybe as they get smaller down to like a C or a D client, maybe this is the way that they feel that they're in front, that you're getting FaceTime. So the really wealthy clients or the profitable clients do get all that FaceTime one-on-one meetings, but down at the bottom, they're kind of getting these one-way communications. They can always call you if they need to, but this is something that can be really powerful. I will say, financial advisors, when there is a market downturn or something scary that's happening in the news, and it doesn't just have to be financial advisors, but when you hear this, you might want to just proactively communicate, hey, we're keeping an eye on this. I want to let you know, looking at what's going on with the way that we have your strategy set up. We still don't know how this is going to play out. We think that we have the right plan as of right now. So I just want you to sit tight, know that we care about you, and we're considering possibly changing something. But as of right now, we're holding tight. That message will take all that panic out of somebody that's not hearing proactively from their service provider, and it will make them sleep at night, right? And they'll love that. The other nice thing about these two, they can be forwarded, right? So you can send a message to, one of those things that you might want to have on here is client referrals. And when you get a client referral, you can, if you get their contact information for somebody you don't know, you can send kind of a really cool welcoming message. Hey, Mike Byrnes, I can't wait to get to meet you. I heard great things from our mutual connection, Sally Smith. She said so many wonderful things. I really can't wait to get to meet you. That's going to be way more successful at getting that initial conversation going as opposed to just the text version of that. All right, so from a prospect standpoint, I will say that it's a little bit creepy to get a message from somebody you don't know. But with that being said, the success rate of sending a cold call email versus a cold call personalized video email, it's night and day. The personalized video email still really works incredibly well because they're getting to meet you, right? And if you carry yourself, even though you're a stranger, if you carry yourself in the right way, it can be really powerful. One kind of cool case study that I had with financial advisors was they worked with retirement plans. So they actually worked with, they had one big client, the retirement plan corporation, but then they had hundreds of people that worked for that company, and they don't have time to service hundreds and hundreds of small clients. So what they would do is just bang out a message as fast as they can to all of these people. And one of the things that they tried to do was get them to increase how much they were investing each month, a percentage of their salary. And they saw a lift in this. And so that success in actually getting more people to actually invest, that was the goal number one. And goal number two was the people that are already investing, that they invest more to maximize their benefit. So it was in their best interest. The lift in both of those became such a good success story that this video strategy became a selling point when they went to other retirement plans to win them as business, because they said, hey, we use a tool like this. We've seen a proven increase in a lift in new investors and existing investors that will invest more. And it's a home run, right? So think of things that you would not even think of normally and just jot them down. It doesn't mean you have to use them. But then, again, don't trust a consultant blowing a lot of hot air. go use a tool like this and see if it works. I guarantee is a strong word, but like if you do it the right way and you dedicate time to it and you really personalize it, you're going to see more success than you would initially think, right? And it only takes usually one new client or one client doubling down their services to make it all worth it. And then it pays for that service for years and years and years. Depends on your business model, but likely it would be the case. And then you'll be the one sending me a personalized video email saying, wow, I'm so glad that you told me about it. I had that happen to me once. I was at a conference. The guy heard me speak the year before at a round table at lunch. He came up to me and sat next to me. He goes, that was the best advice I ever had. I had a prospect I could not close, and I used it, and I won, and I just want to thank you, because if it wasn't for that, your advice, I never would have closed that prospect. And he had been dripping on him for years with regular email, and it just wasn't working. We'll talk about social media later on, but InMail in LinkedIn can be somewhat successful. There's different strategies there. But now, like, same thing, instead of a cold call type of InMail where you don't know the person, that's just text, put in this personalized video email link, and if they click on it and they watch it, it's just going to be more successful than your standard InMail that's all salesy that you're getting and that usually doesn't have a gigantic success rate. So I'm a big believer of ROI, so think about how you can use this tool to increase your success. In the previous recording, I had talked about subject lines with email blast marketing and how important they are and how you should do A/B testing and such. And I said you can actually have personalization in the subject head, and it will improve open rates. But if they open it, it doesn't feel personalized, then it's kind of a big waste of time and it feels like a fraud. Well, if you are sending a personalized video email, definitely put in there their name and say, hey, Peter, I got a personalized video message for you. The two things will completely crush the open rates that you're used to seeing. Like that, the statistics will shoot off the roof. And so I would definitely push you to think about how to take all the learnings you have around email marketing and then realize how you can do this. Some of the other benefits that I didn't discuss, like how long does it take for you to type 3 paragraphs? You know, if you're a hunter and pecker type of guy, it can take you a decent amount of time to type a simple message, right? And then, because you're not good at typing, you got typos, you got to go redo it and all that stuff. Now imagine you just hit click and record it. And by the way, you just talked for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and to type that would have taken you 25 minutes to type. But you just recorded it in one take because you get pretty good at it, and it goes out 30 seconds later. All you got to do is the subject head and the name, and maybe put in, please watch this video in the body copy. Here's my contact information if you want to get back to me. That can actually default. You can actually create templates, so some of the stuff actually is always there. Now imagine you went from before having to take your whole day typing away and hunting and pecking, and your inefficiency was like off the charts. Now this tool has made you that much better. I actually have given advice to people that have had some issues with their hands too, either permanently damaged hands or they've broken their hand, sliding into second base. All types of things happen to our hands a lot, whether it's just for a week or temporary. Like, this is a great tool to kind of pop in and use it temporarily. Everyone that is recovering from something that's short term jumps on it and never turns it off. And obviously the people that have something that is holding them back permanently love this type of tool too. But it's something for anybody. Get over the hump of not liking to hear your voice or seeing yourself on the screen, and get comfortable with it. Last kind of thoughts I would say is, whatever you're using to record yourself, this is something that doesn't have to be like a studio like I'm in, and the sound doesn't have to be perfect. But work on the lighting and the sound as best as you can. So like when I record on my laptop, if I drift off to the side a little or turn sideways, it sounds all garbled. So I need to know I'm either using a microphone or something that adds on to my laptop. But you don't want to make it seem like it's not personalized either, right? So sometimes the best message is, hey, I'm at this Little League game and my son just hit a home run. I know you're a huge baseball fan. I just want to let you know I was thinking about you. I wish you were here to celebrate with me, but I'm so happy that this just happened, and I just want to let you know I was thinking about you for some reason. That type of little check-in and added touch point is the stuff that makes relationships like this, right? And they become raving fans, and they never stop talking about you. I think that's probably the goal. So try a tool like this. If you want to learn more, you can always reach out to me. I'm Mike Byrnes. Love to hear your feedback. This has been another episode of Business Best. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it.